Yo, what's up, you guys? So let's talk about that little flame icon on TikTok. It's called promote, and we want to know, is it worth it or not worth it? Should we or should we not get into something like this? It's brought up a little bit of conversation on TikTok, so I wanted to bring it here to YouTube and see what you guys thought. So if any of that sticks in your mind, if it resonates with you, hang around, watch the intro, and we'll get into it. So before we get into should or shouldn't we, when it comes to the promote icon, let's pop it up and let's see what it's actually talking about. Let's just dive into it completely. So let's scroll down first and we're gonna click on this video.
Yo, Pat, my candids suck in street photography. How can I make them better?
Have you seen this video? If not, check it out. But what we're here to do, let's look at the promote thing. So if we go down to the three dots, we can actually see that promote is before duet and stitch. Right here, it's the little flame icon. Now this is pretty interesting right off the bat because they put it before duet and stitch. In my opinion, TikTok's two biggest features when it comes to like content creation, and they've put that before those two. So you have to think from a developing standpoint, that's probably pretty important. But let's say we're gonna promote it. What does that do? So we click on it and it gives us what is our goal. So we can choose more video views, more website visits, or more followers. Realistically, we want all of those, but let's just say we want more followers. So we'll hit more followers next, and then we get to choose our audience. Now, this is kind of an interesting point because you can either let TikTok choose it for you or you can custom. So I typically go manual mode on a lot of things, so I would probably choose custom. And when we get into it, we can see gender, age, and interest. I think gender and age is really good because you can like limit to a or kind of target, like your target market could be a certain gender or a certain age group. But I think the interests are kind of limited. I think that those could be a lot wider. So once we've done that, we can actually do next, and then we're going to choose our budget basically and determine how much are we going to spend on like a paid promotion kind of campaign. So they do it obviously by the TikTok coins, and it looks like it is about 500 a day is the lowest you can go, and the maximum you can go is 100,000 per day. And then that's when you're talking into massive video views, which is really interesting. So it actually tells you the cost per day and then about how many views you're going to get based off that. So it's kind of like paying for views almost like that. So you're going to be one of those accounts that actually gets pushed out a little bit farther. But there's also a caveat to this that I want to go into. So we essentially click next, and then we do the payment screen, and it'll tell you all about the different things. You can charge up your coins or whatever, and that's basically like the whole process as far as actually promoting the video. But the real question is it worth it? Okay, so full disclosure, I wanted to go ahead and tell you that I have already done this process, and the reason why is because I wanted to make sure that this is one of those things that I think could be very polarizing, and I wanted to make sure that I have my opinion based on reality and the fact that I've already tried it, so that way I can tell you my opinion on it and be fair about it and tell you that yes, you should, or no, you shouldn't for these reasons, versus me just saying it and theoretically like why you should or shouldn't. Basically, I promoted that video that I showed you and the fact that I had about 1,000 coins, which is essentially I think $20 US, but I already had some coins like set aside that I had already like put in for myself because I like going to watch people's live accounts and like when they do live recordings or whatever, live shows I guess you call them on TikTok, and I basically send the little emojis for people that I like, or on the other side if I do lives, people send them to me. So I had a little bank already built up in TikTok, but I did spend about $15 to promote this, so there was a little bit of money spent in that aspect. But it could cost you, if you did this without any already built up, it could cost you $20, or it could cost you way more if you're going to go really big, like we see, like when we saw that slider, you know. So we see the goal. I put more followers. I did about 1,000 coins, which was about $15 over the course of 2 days. So I did that 500 for 2-day promotion thing. And you can see that here. I did it from the 28th to the 30th. And essentially I got 2.3 thousand video views, 61 new followers, 512 likes, and it was split up between 60% female to 40% male. And then we get the age breakdown. But I also, when I finished all this, I did go back and did the how satisfied are you with this promotion prompt and gave it 3 out of 5 stars. And this is the part that I think a lot of people will catch on to, and I want to give my opinion based on these things here, why I think it's pretty good, and then other ways that I don't think it's like necessary for everybody to try out. Okay, so when it comes to paid promotion in TikTok, I think there's a big pro and a big con. The big pro is the fact that there are going to be videos that I think are great videos that don't get seen purely because of the algorithm, or because it's a small account, or it's a new account, or whatever the thing is, or maybe it's even a small niche. Things that are not going to be about the video that will keep it from being seen. And I don't think that's fair for that video or for that content creator, because we've all been there when we started, and I'm right there on YouTube right now. If there was a way to promote videos, I'd honestly consider it, because you want your things to be seen. And on the other side of that, people will say, well, if it's not that good of content, people won't watch it. And I don't know if that's necessarily all the time true. I think there are great things that don't get seen and don't give the credit that are kind of like owed to it, purely because of like just the algorithm that sits on high in that ivory tower, you know? So I think that that's the big pro to it, is that you could possibly get this seen by a lot more people that you normally wouldn't be able to. Now, what's interesting with it is the promote feature, and the fact that you can choose those 3 different levels of whatever you're trying to do, whether it be your website views, followers, or just views in general. So between that and being able to like target your market a little bit as far as your gender and age and like the category, I think that's a really good start for this. But I think TikTok should really enhance that, in the fact that I think you could really make this a great feature if you could really niche down. Like if I could select the photo community, ages 13 to 25, and gender, I mean, mine doesn't really matter for gender, but if you were doing something that was gender oriented, like if you were doing, I don't know, something that was specific to women or specific to men, maybe you'd want that more to one gender or the other. But for me, it doesn't matter necessarily. So if you could really niche down, that would be excellent. But there are some cons to it, I think, that also come along with this. And the con for this is twofold. So there's really one issue with money, and the second one deals with something completely different. So when we're talking about money as an issue, there's really 2 sides to that also. There's the one side where people typically don't like to be marketed to, so they don't really respond really well to paid promotion. And one of the things, if you read into the actual the thing on TikTok, it actually tells you that it will be labeled as promotion. So when it's kicked out, it'll have a little promotion icon on it. So if somebody happens to notice that, which people are pretty good about picking that kind of stuff up on, that might limit them in the fact that they may not want to tap that like button or subscribe to you or follow you or whatever, purely because they feel like they've been marketed to. So that's an issue for the creator, and something you have to think about when you're doing this. You need to be strategic on your video. Number 2 is definitely the fact of money and the fact of the creator. So some people just can't afford something like this, or don't want to, because they want their work to stand on its own and not be like having like a marketing campaign behind it, which totally makes sense as well. So both of those factors, as far as the money goes, could be an issue for a lot of people, you know. And the second aspect, I think, deals with TikTok in general. And here's my speculation. Don't hold me to this, but I think this might be true. When it comes to TikTok views recently, I think that everyone has felt like their views have gone down. And I don't know that this relates specifically to the promote feature, but it just makes a lot of sense that if somebody is paying for the promotion and getting a lot of views, that TikTok is going to kick a lot of that audience over to that video that isn't going to go to something that somebody didn't pay for. And that makes a lot of sense as far as TikTok goes. It is a business, and they are making money, and they're supposed to be making money by selling ads and things like that. And they're trying to give back to the creators by creating the creator fund and spending money there. So obviously they need money to do all of those things. So it makes sense that they're going to allow you to promote. Now, on the other side of that is the fact that, like, as a creator though, you want your things to be seen. And if somebody's being able to pay for it, especially over the long period of time, if they have like a big campaign budget, they might be able to push that out for days or weeks. I don't even know how long it actually went to. If you push that slider all the way over and where it had 315,000 views or whatever, averaged, that could be a long time for somebody to have that going, that promotion, versus somebody who doesn't have that kind of budget. And even if they did this, could only spend something for a couple of days. Is that promotion really going to be worth it for them? So that's an issue as well when you're talking about the free community and the paid for community. Some people will have an issue with that just based on that issue alone. Okay, so now that we talked about what it is, we talked about the pros and the cons, the question is it worth it? So I think for some people, absolutely. I think that this will be a thing that will take some piece of content that really didn't get the recognition that it was supposed to and could promote it and like send it off, and that person could be like the next Bella Porch. Like you could be that person off of something like that, where you had a great piece of content that just didn't go well in general, you know. So I think that's really great for those people, and that a little bit of money could go a long way. However, on the other side, I think that the issue with it, and this is totally speculation, like I said, if it's actually causing a drop in views for people that aren't pushing out that campaign, I don't think that's right. So I hope TikTok can fix that or adjust that in some way, make sure that it's weighted so it's not like really, really slanted to the people that pay, that people that don't, you know. So we don't want to see that. But let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think as far as paid promotion, whether it's on TikTok or anywhere else. Do you like it? Do you not like it? Have you used it? If you have, if you've used the TikTok feature, leave me a comment down below. Let me know your stats. I showed you mine. Let me know if it's worked out really well for you. Or if it hasn't, let me know too, because that even in itself is a statistic. And also, if you want to, make sure you hit that subscribe button because it helps out the channel. And also because there's plenty more content where this comes from. You can let me know in the comment section as well if there's something you're like wondering or want to know about, whether it's TikTok, YouTube, photography, or whatever else. Always leave me a comment, or you can hit me up on Twitter or TikTok itself and leave me a comment there. I'm on TikTok and Twitter all the time, so you can at me whenever. But make sure you hit the bell so you get notified here as well when new content comes out, and I will hit you with the... And I will see you in the next one. Go try this out if you want to. But you don't really necessarily have to. Either way. Peace out, guys.